Today I was thinking about masks, and especially now it's Halloween. It's like one of my favorite times of year to dress up, but also it's a good time to reflect on how not only from a superficial sense, but from a real sense, we're putting masks on every day. Certainly, I'm in a very period of transition in my own life, and I've become very aware of the masks that I've been wearing all the time. And when you see that you're wearing masks, it unveils to you where you are being inauthentic. I'd like to share something. Panache, Desai. I've been reading this book from the library. Thank you very much. But it talks about, I should say the title of the book, You Are Enough. And I will share a paragraph. Knowing your essential self is not about how you look or your IQ. It's not about your killer personality, how many exotic stamps mark up your passport, what degrees you've earned, or the money you've made. It's not about philanthropic work you've accomplished or the hours you meditate and pray. It's not even about the children you've brought into the world. The essential self cannot be damaged, won, or lost. It is the internal prism through which the divine uniquely expresses itself in the world. It is the foundation of peace and fulfillment. And this just really spoke to me so much because when you kind of have some time to actually think about how you're acting in the world, and I've just really experienced in my life, and I'm sure maybe other people have had this experience too, is people always ask you what you do for work. It's probably the first thing people ask you. I know it's a bit of a New York-centric thing, but that's why when things happen to our jobs, is that we feel that we're so tied to them because it becomes part of our identity. And certainly I think a really good reminder with this is that we are multi-dimensional beings. Work cannot be your only thing. And, maybe you like to work and you've founded a company or you really like your job. And that maybe is your authentic self. But if we really look inside ourselves, and certainly the people that resonate with me, they are probably the most successful people, but they're being themselves. I know people have described me as quirky. I'm not sure quirky. But you know what? I used to think wow, why would somebody what do you mean? My fascination over 40 with Hello Kitty is not quirky? But I think it's really important to understand that those are the things that make us who we are, and to not be afraid of expressing those. I know for myself, certainly with certain career choices I've made, and maybe even people that I've have made a choice to bring into my world, that's always, maybe I've been a filtered person of myself. But after reading that passage and thinking about my essential self, it feels that with all the chaos going on, not only for myself, and I know some of us are going through really tough periods right now. The world kind of seems like it's a dumpster fire. There's a lot going on. It's the election, everything left, right is fear mongering. When I get to the essential self, it's not defined by my job, how I look. It's that inner person of who you are. And when I have people in my life, and it's a very small group, I can identify those people that know that, right? They kind of see that, if things change, they'll be there for you. If your body changes, they'll be there for you. And that's really important to remember, because we're in a very much, and I'm very much a participant in it. So I take my part too of Instagrammable, TikTok, which is great. All these things are great, but sometimes we can really get stuck into these images of ourselves, and it's we're so far apart of just thinking about the things that make us inherently us. And it's the little things, and it's about the heart and the soul of the person. And that's kind of just what I was thinking about today. And going back to the masks, I think a lot of us have to wear masks, but I noticed that, the ones that when we take it off at the end of the day, when we sit with ourselves, no distractions, no music, maybe not even meditating, that is our real self. And that's who we want to be with. That makes you the person you are. Yes, all this other stuff is like all the trimmings, but the essential self, like let's see ourselves really bring that forward. And it's a good reminder of just thinking about the essential self and knowing we are more than a checkbox.